Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Music Mondays podcast. I'm your host, Adam Slays. I hope you're well. I hope you're chilling. Happy motherfucking Monday. I hope you're well. How we doing, man? How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? Today is November 27th, 2023. Today is actually episode 149. So, we quite literally have, one more episode until the big 150, which is actually really, really cool. But much to discuss, much to get into. I see you in the chat. How are you? Welcome on in, my friend. Happy Monday. Um, so, let's talk. Absolutely talk. Like I said, this is episode 149. I'm your host, Tom Slays, and boy, oh boy, do we have a show. So, a ton of content actually went down over the course of the last week or so. Let's get into it, man. Let's absolutely get into it. And then, we're gonna do some weekly recap stuff. And then we're gonna have a little discussion about the Music Mondays Awards, which are coming up in December. And then we'll get into some reactions and reviews. So let's hop right into it. We kicked off, I think, Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. We kicked off Tuesday with Underground Classics Volume 13, my friends. Volume 13. So definitely go show that some love. That is available on our SoundCloud right now. That was actually curated by Lord Heretic. Heretic actually did a wonderful job on that. 100%. So huge shout out to Heretic. And if you don't know, Underground Classics is our monthly playlist where we kind of have a staff member compile a lot of the tracks that got them introduced to underground music, got them introduced to the underground sound and things like that. So Underground Classics is definitely more of like a respect thing. So definitely go check that out and go show Volume 13 some love. The official Indie Horror Speedruns Marathon 2023 playlist is available on our SoundCloud right now with Indie Horror Speedruns. So huge shout out to Indie Horror Speedruns. I spoke a lot about that last weekend, so definitely go check out our YouTube upload from last week. But if you don't know, recently Music Mondays sponsored event with Indie Horror Speedruns, where we curated a playlist for them for their almost over 16-hour event. And that's available on our SoundCloud right now. That's literally, I think, like 198 tracks or so. So definitely go show that some love. And huge shout out to Indie Horror Speedruns. Speaking of which, a brand new YouTube upload is available right now on our SoundCloud. Or no, not on on our SoundCloud, on our channel. That was available on Thursday. So last week, if you missed the segment with us and I discussed Indie Horror Speedruns last week, I kind of broke down details of the marathon, how we're curating future events with them and things like that. So definitely go check out that YouTube upload. I broke down the event in a lot of great detail as well as I spoke a little bit about the playlist. So again, huge shout out to Indie Horror Speedruns and definitely go check that out on the channel. Fresh as fuck. Definitely fresh as fuck. I agree. So that kicks us off to I believe that dropped Friday. Actually, yeah, that dropped Friday because Thursday was actually Thanksgiving. So happy late Thanksgiving for those of you who celebrate. Holidays these days are just more so time to spend with people that you actually give a fuck about, you know. Not so much more so about the kind of watered down meanings of them, right? But happy Thanksgiving and huge shout out to everybody that celebrates as well. And then Friday was actually my birthday, so huge happy birthday to me. That was definitely like one of my only days off as well. So like having Thanksgiving and having my birthday like back to back was actually really cool. So I took a couple days off. I was able to get some content done, and then we were able to pretty much update everything. So again, that takes us all the way to Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Episode 148 of the Music Mondays podcast is available on all platforms. Definitely go check that out and go show 148 some love. Huge shout out to everybody that came through and showed love last week for episode 148. And again, huge shout out to everybody that submitted as well. But episode 148 is available on our channel. Episode 48 is available on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, things like that. So definitely go check us out wherever you listen to the Music Mondays podcast. And again, huge shout out to everybody that takes us on the go as well. Huge shout out to the YouTube crew and anybody that just listens to the show if they don't get a chance to catch it live. You guys are awesome. So that takes us all the way to Sunday. SoundCloud Sunday Volume 110 is available right now on our SoundCloud. That was curated by myself, Waterfalls, and Avanko. Huge shout out to Avanko and Water for curating that with me. Yeah, man, 110 is live, man. 110. SoundCloud Sundays, one of our prized possessions for sure. So you guys know how I feel about that. But if you're ever interested in submitting for SoundCloud Sunday, submissions open every single Wednesday. So make sure you follow us on socials and keep your eyes peeled for new updates on new playlists and things like that. So definitely go show Volume 110 some love. And huge shout out to our Music Mondays staff curators. So that rolls us into Monday, today, November 27th, 2023. We're here live with episode 149. So let's talk about what's coming up on Music Mondays for the next week or so. Let's talk about December, things like that. So there's only like 3 days left in November, literally. So we're going to dive into some pretty important stuff. But first things first on the agenda. Let's talk. So what's upcoming on the next week or so? Before we get into that, let's talk about one more thing before I forget. So, per usual, I always start off the show like this, but if you're ever interested in joining the Music Monday staff team, we are recruiting. We are interested in writers, journalists, designers, curators, media personalities, anybody that's interested in short form or long form content. We definitely want you on the team. Absolutely. So definitely get in contact with us. And if you're interested in more details on all of our roles, we have a perfect YouTube upload for you. So definitely go check that out. That's a video where I break down pretty much all the Music Monday staff roles, what they detail, and things like that. So get in contact with us if you're interested in joining the Music Mondays staff team. But one more thing. If you're interested in getting a unreleased Music Mondays SoundCloud exclusive hosted on our SoundCloud, definitely get in contact with us as well. The only thing that we're interested in is the SoundCloud version. So if you have an unreleased track and you want to go put it on Spotify after or whatnot, that's fine. But if you'd like a track to get hosted in free, definitely get in contact with Music Mondays, and we'll be happy to arrange that for you. So definitely let us know if that's something you're interested in. Because of course we're just trying to grow our SoundCloud library and continue to promote artists in various ways, and just again kind of build up a nice archive over there on SoundCloud. So definitely let us know if that's anything you're interested in. So the same goes for YouTube as well. We're also interested in hosting music videos, lyric videos, visuals, and things like that. So again, if that's something that interests you and you want to get promoted for free to our channel of over 220 subscribers, definitely get in contact with us and let us know, because we'll be happy to have that conversation with you. So that takes us to this week again. What's upcoming for Music Mondays? Well, we have a couple of backlogged pieces that absolutely have to go out. So you'll see a couple written pieces go out at the beginning of the week, this week, into tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So definitely be on the lookout for a couple written pieces. And I know the staff is working hard on a couple of other backlog pieces that they kind of already had started as well. So this week's going to be a big writing week for us. Expect a lot of new written pieces. Expect a lot of website updates and things like that. So again, make sure you're following us on socials and always check out our homepage for the latest Music Mondays news. So that's like one huge thing. But as far as the monthly scope goes, we'll be tying up a lot of loose ends, kind of finishing up a couple series as well. And then as we roll into December, again, we'll be kind of capping off, in case you missed it monthly, we'll be kind of capping off a lot of the bigger pieces that we have going on, right? Things like our YouTube uploads, Feature Friday, Workshop Wednesday, Behind the Merch, the breakdown. There's a couple of things that we're kind of really organizing with the staff, because last week we had a really good meeting. So the end of the year is looking pretty bright for Music Mondays. Not that it wouldn't anyway, but we came up with a lot of additional ideas on top of what I already had planned. So that's always good. But again, we're just trying to wrap up this last 30 days or so. I'm trying to make sure we go into next year really strong. So keep your eyes peeled. Make sure you follow us on socials at All Music Mondays. And stay up to date, man, because a lot is coming this week for sure. So that pretty much brings me into the next section that I want to talk about here before we get into some reviews. So, the Music Mondays Awards, man. Um, this is something I don't really talk about often, just because it is an end of the year thing. But also, we've grown so much over the course of 12 months, man. Like, we've grown a lot. So, last year when we did the Music Mondays Awards, we had like half the staff that we do now, and we have like half the following that we do now. So, there's a lot to really consider when it comes down to the Music Mondays Awards. Um, so this is something that like I absolutely wanted to do this year, like no question. But I had a conversation with the staff, and we kind of revised a few things. So for those of you that don't know, when it comes down to the Music Mondays Awards, we kind of narrowed it down to like 10 or 12 categories. Things like Artist of the Year, Album of the Year, Music Video of the Year, things like that. Things like that. There's a lot of topics that I kind of want to dive into as well. But you can check out our Music Mondays Awards of 2022 if you're kind of interested in how the show went and things like that. But when it comes down to this year and us kind of having a larger staff, us kind of having a way larger community, we decided to shake things up a bit. So last year we didn't really have anybody vote. We just kind of chose amongst ourselves as a staff, for multiple reasons, right? But the main one being our staff was a bit smaller and we didn't have as much of a community back then. Only a year, right? But we've pretty much doubled in size. So we found it pretty fitting to get the community's input. So what we are going to do is we're going to take the 10 or so categories, and we're going to at least nominate 3 people for each category. And then per each 3, we're going to have the community vote on which one they think deserves the category, right? So, for example, for Artist of the Year, Music Monday staff is going to narrow it down to like 3 people, like top 3 is kind of what we decided there. And then the community can kind of take from there and really decide who they think as well um, should deserve each title. I think that'll be something really, really fun and important to do for the community. So keep your eyes peeled for all that, because the staff is still deciding on nominations, and we're kind of narrowing down a lot of heads. But that won't be coming until like the end of December, until like the week before New Year's. So we got some time, but that was something I wanted to kind of drop here on the show and really talk about for a second, just because that's not something I've touched on since last year. The Music Mondays Awards was really well received, but there's not much more you can do with that kind of content. Um, Especially when you're like rolling into like a new year, right? So I feel like that's the whole deal with that is like it's a big event, but it's a one and done kind of event. So it's pretty special, but it doesn't last long. So I wanted to really start early and really start that conversation now. You know what I mean? So that's that, my friends. If you have any questions about the Music Mondays Awards, definitely drop them in the comments or anything like that. But we'll be having a lot of open discussions in the coming weeks. So keep your eyes peeled. And again, just make sure you follow us on socials, and make sure you keep your eyes peeled and posted for anything that we have going on here at Music Mondays. That'll probably be uploaded on the channel as well. So make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Definitely drop a comment and let us know what you think about Music Mondays and things like that. So, um, and the Music Mondays Awards, more specifically, who do you think is uh like the categories haven't been revealed yet, so we can't really ask for picks, but you can always throw names out there, right? Um, Whoever you think had like a really killer year is definitely what we're interested in. But over the course of the next couple weeks, you'll see a lot of information come out about that as well. Um, so very exciting, very 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 exciting. But let's get into some reactions and reviews, my friends. So you guys know the drill, but if you don't and you're new here, let's talk about it. So um, tweets are always in the same format. Submissions are only available on Twitter, just because it's easier to curate for us over there, and our community is rather large on Twitter. Once you start getting into the area of like Reddit and Instagram and things like that, things start to get really glitchy once you start kind of stacking messages and things like that. So Twitter's still one of the best places to kind of operate curation. So like I said, tweets are always in the same format every single week. But again, if you're new here and you're wondering what the deal is, again, tweets will always read artists and creatives. Submissions are open for live reviews on Music Mondays, live on 11/27/23 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Twitch.tv/soundplays. If you'd like to submit your music artwork faster and digital creation, drop your links and portfolios below. All art forms are welcome. 4-hour show limit. Must be following Music Mondays on Twitter to be eligible. Patreon subscribers submissions played first each week. So just to break that down rather quickly, if you're watching the show live, submissions will open tomorrow, on November 28th. If you're watching the show on YouTube, submissions are already open, so go find this tweet and check the date and make sure it's the right one and drop your links. But again, that's pretty much straightforward. You have about 7 days or so to tracks. And again, contrary to our name, Music Mondays, we've reacted to everything here on the show. Everything from instrumentals, vocals, music videos, merch, photos, designs, writing, you name it, we've reacted to it. So feel free to drop any kind of content. Just because a lot of creatives are multi-talented, right? A lot of musicians are also writers. A lot of producers are also designers. A lot of artists are also vocalists and things among that nature. So I feel like it's very important to kind of touch on all scopes of things like that. So definitely absolutely drop any and all links as well. Now with the 4-hour show limits, back in the Music Mondays early days, we had way longer shows. Just because I didn't really have a way to circumvent submissions and things like that. So the main thing with the 4-hour show limit is it's a lot easier to kind of make the playback a little bit more refreshing, right? It's a little bit more palatable. It's a little bit more easier to swallow than, a 5, 6, 7 hour show. So we implemented a 4-hour show limit because, again, we are a weekly live show. So again, keep that in mind. We're one of the only platforms that's actually live 1 day a week, every single week. So just to relieve some pressure off the Music Monday staff, it's a little bit easier for us to kind of do 4-hour shows than it is 5, 6, 7, 8 hours every. So very, very, very important there. So outside of that, submissions are free. They always have been. They always will be. The only thing that you are required to do and that we ask you to do is just follow Music Mondays on Twitter to be eligible. Because like I said, submissions are always going to be free. I do the show to kind of build up our library and support the community and really have a go-to for new artists to kind of get their work spotlighted, right? So again, that's the only thing that we ask. And of course, just to not only help spread our message, but to just pay a little respect to everybody else that does submit every week and does follow the platform. That's the only thing that we do ask. And of course, Patreon subscribers submissions played first each week. So when it comes down to the Patreon, the Music Mondays podcast, again, the 4-hour show limit is implemented. So when it comes to the 4-hour show limit, sometimes we may not get to certain submissions. Sometimes we may not get to all submissions, right? So if you're an artist that would like your submission to be guaranteed to be played on the show each week, you can pledge to any of our tiers on the Patreon and gain access to the Music Mondays Fast Pass, which is pretty much an exclusive perk for the Music Mondays podcast, which again allows you to get your submissions played first every single week here on the show for the duration that you're pledged. But we offer multiple rewards over there on the Music Mondays Patreon, so definitely go check out the Patreon and go check out all of our tiers and the rest of our rewards over there. So I think outside of that, we are good. The only other thing that I do want to mention is that submissions do close a couple hours before the show starts. Again, just to get a head count, just to see what our show's going to look like. It's a really close submission, so nobody kind of comes in late and, gets in front of somebody that, submitted last week or a couple days ago and yada, 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 things like that. So just to kind of close the gate, for future reference, if the show is ever live, submissions are probably closed. They are most definitely closed. So that's about the main thing there. But that's the gist of the Music Mondays podcast. If you have any other questions, we have a detailed guide on our YouTube channel as well, where I break down all those steps even further. And of course, you can leave a comment on any of our videos, and I'm sure we'll absolutely respond to you. So, with that said, let's get into it, my friends. Let's go. Ready. So we're gonna see how many Patrons we have here tonight, and then we're gonna roll into the rest of the community submissions. So, oh shit, Bloodcat's down there too. Let's see here. So it looks like just the homie Blank Thought tonight is the only Music Mondays Patreon, and then we'll roll into the rest of the communities. So, let's get into it. How exciting. Let's go. I am down. But the homie Blank Thought has absolutely killed it this year in 2023 and has done wonderful, wonderful things with their production. But an alternative hip-hop producer and very, very talented writer, Blank Thought submitted Infinite Until Death. Jin Zim Mashoni, executive prod by me. Okay. I'm down. I got a little 3-piece with the Blank Thought production. Okay. We love that. We absolutely love that. Alrighty, chat, let's get into it. Let's absolutely get into it. So it looks like we got Zim, Mashoni, Jin, and Blank Thought as well. Alright, okay, let's get into it. Infinite Until Death. Let's go.
Zero, nothing. I tell you. He said, no, you're gonna tell me something today. I said, all right, I'll tell you something. Go fuck your mother.
Yeah. Tapping back into it. Got off the Amistad, put a cat on the cover. No, this ain't the I. I'm just trying to help y'all peep. These rhymes critical for any great awakening. The messages is pivotal, reaching for the higher. Came a leaf from the Maya, then came me from the fire. New situations are dire, but I feel all my messages are single and they sit alone. Got untapped potential like the oil at the Cosby home. Killing mass portions, supporting black abortions while harvesting mass organs. They murdering black boys in the hood and they pushing poison. We use this tree adornments. They using me with the force that's illegal. The dreams important and schemes of extortion. All of the dreams of distortion is killing me. The misfortune in all our generations past. See my generations past live as fragile as a glass. It ain't no wisdom being passed before the generations pass. And you the predator of prey. I ain't running from no cops. I gotta make it. Gotta further these messages from my pops. You see I go into these thoughts, so when I jot, ain't no hobby thanks to him. When I wake, I know there's royalty inside me. The culture vultures is killing us. Rothschilds after you. They never let you know the richest man came from Africa. Forgot our true selves. Boy, they got us all so hypnotized. Told us that we came from slaves, so we would always victimize ourselves. Well, I put that in the urn, gaining more of an ego while I'm trying not to discern. I just keep gaining knowledge. Everything that took a turn, they try to scare me using hell shit. I ain't know a soul could burn, Do when I do it best.
Who got me?
Passion ain't never been by the check.
Who got me?
The God pen, don't never think nothing less. Don't know about them, but I'm infinite to death.
Who got me feeling like this on a cold night? I might fight any motherfucker in its own sight. Shit y'all discussing, I just know it doesn't sit right. The soft-spoken poet throw a tantrum in the late night. His eyes so swollen from another broken episode. Who next to go? Heaven only knows I'm still flexing though. The most bone-chilling pipes fixing. When the winter hit him, fill him up with venom. Gotta fix it. When it comes to writtens, never miss or hit him when he's chilling. There's no attention, reach ascension. I don't even need a high to gather wisdom. Yeah, and I'm the most mediocre. Crack a smile, break the poker face, so I go broker. My mama always told me don't grow to be a smoker. American spirits 1050 and it's over. The solo broken kid smoking mid by the stroller. If life a game, gonna stab whoever on controller. I'm borderline composer or stay composed just for closure. If I ever make a milli, I'ma free up all enclosures.
Don't know about them, but I'm infinite unto death. Don't know about them, but I'm infinite unto death.
I'm misguided in the mugshot, smiling, fuck peace. Never listen, smoking something while we're driving, free me. I'm often so dissociated, please. Fake pleads from the freaks, always scraping up their knees. Chase cheese from a distance, borderline so insistent to go and smack the party up like Charlie Sheen in prison. See the vision, we always so adamant, split and twist up and throw a couple ones on top of bitches in a strip club. Yeah. Said I'm a C+ rapper, I never get it twisted, no indulging in the chatter. I pull up to the function just to disrespect the platter. Then I spit on top of mics with my dudes right after. Metaphors chasing me away from the limelight. See a clout chaser walking in the street, it's on sight. Fake ass industry plans can't even rhyme right. Thought you was a rapper, so you wrote your own raps, right? Right?
Damn. Okay. Huh. All right. That wasn't like that's one of those ones that like puts you in a trance for sure, and you're just like kind of captivated by what's going on for sure. As soon as Mashoni sent me this beat, I knew I needed entirely produced by Mashoni. Okay. I see. All right. All right. You guys know the drill. We're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Infinite Until Death. All right. I don't think we've ever reacted to anything from Mashoni like solo on the show. Maybe like a collab or something. But this will be interesting. So, let's talk mix. Oh, rapped on Dutch Tilt. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So that's a good recent one. That's definitely a good recent one. Sure. We did that collab album on Death for this year. Yes. And then the interview. The interview was really good. The interview was fucking excellent. Yep. I forgot he was on Dutch Tilt. Okay. Yeah, let's break down this mix. So, when it comes down to the mix, strictly speaking on the instrumental, fantastic throughout the whole song. Especially with the kind of back and forth dynamic that we have here between the vocals. I feel like you couldn't really ask for anything better. I think everybody sounds fantastic, but more leaning towards the instrumental itself. I didn't feel like anything was fighting anything. Drums were great, nothing clashing too overbearing. Everything cuts through nicely for sure. Levels were great. Nothing that really came up to me. That really like I noticed, but not really a shocker. Especially coming from the Blank Thought side of things. Nothing that's really like new, but you always want to point it out as well. So the instrumental mix is absolutely fantastic. And especially with all the sample usage going on there as well, I feel like everything was perfect. So that's another thing to note for sure. Instrumental Shining Star. So I like everything about this instrumental equally. But if I really had to pick, probably the melody is something that I feel like is just so prominent, but also so rememberable. I feel like that's going to be one of the first things that you think of when you think of this song, right? Especially if it's like one of your favorites. or like you took a liking to this song, right? And it's always on your playlist. That's gonna be something that always like comes to mind for you. So I feel like the melodies here were like really well utilized for sure, but drums were pretty crucial as well, for sure. So that's one thing there, but definitely the melody if I absolutely had to pick, 100%, 100%. Um, so the instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals here. Vocal mix is fantastic. Especially coming from Zim and Jin. Like, yeah, no, like these are two artists that have very like really top tier natural voices. So that's something you always want to let shine in tracks like these, and I feel like they really do. Um, but again, that's not really anything new, but something you always want to point out, right? When it comes down to the vocal mixes, man, very much on point, very much on point. I didn't think anything was like off-putting. Everybody sounds like in unison, and everything sounds full. So definitely no gripes with the vocal mix as well. I definitely think that's something like you always want to point out in these kind of tracks because it's not like your normal kind of structure. It kind of has that like back and forth dynamic, right? So um I feel like the mix is definitely reflecting that and does really well. Definitely does really well. So the mix when it comes to vocals, strictly speaking, perfect, nice and level, nothing clash to overbearing. Vocals sit nice on the instrumental as well. Actually sit really nice, to be honest with you. Like if I'm being 100% honest with you, the vocals sit really, really nice on this. I don't know what it is, but everything just blends really well. Nothing's fighting each other. So vocal mix right where it needs to be. Um, Vocal Shining Star. So you could really go two ways with this because I feel like the writing throughout the whole song from everyone is really fucking crazy. I feel like Jin was nuts, but Zim was also kind of like pushing the bar too. So you can't really say one is kind of better than the other. I feel like they both had their own space here. But the other thing that I really liked from these two is flow and cadence as well. Um, I feel like flow and cadence is something, you'll remember like throughout the whole track as something that's like a constant. That's the other thing. So you could really go again one of two ways. Writing's definitely up there for me, but for this track in particular, I do like the flow and cadence a lot because it had that like classic hip hop feel, but it was very much modern. So it was something you were like listening to. Like it wasn't something that was like where the beat was overpowering, where somebody like completely just like washed everybody on the track. I feel like this was one where from start to finish you just listen all the way through for sure. Kind of like that, trance thing that I said like, at the start. Like it just puts you in the trance and you're just like totally like zoned in. Um so yeah, flow and cadence and delivery. Definitely. Definitely. So instrumental Shining Star, definitely the melody. Um Vocal Shining Star, flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. So now, this is a track off of On My Way to Nothing. Now, if we pop this open, this is a 6-song project from Zim, and we have a lot of familiar faces on here, to be honest with you. Mashoni, Question, Jin, yeah, like these are all artists that we've reacted to here on the show, so no surprise there. But this actually dropped on November 20th, so this is barely a week old. So let's talk art. Now, this is definitely obviously project art. Definitely not single art, and I like the simplicity here a lot. This is definitely art where I feel like it's such a comfortable pick. You know what I mean? Because it's aesthetically pleasing, but it has its own personality a little bit. Very simple, but gets the job done, especially for not like a big project or not like a crazy like 14-song project. I feel like this is definitely one where it's just a little like something pleasing to the eye. 100%. 100%. So I like that choice. Track title. Overall theme. Infinite Until Death. I like the way that this title was kind of chosen, right? Just based off a bar in the song. But it's also pretty much reflecting all the lyrics throughout the whole track. It's very much like a serious track. This isn't a track where there's a lot of like goofy punchlines or not serious punchlines. And not that I'm saying that those are bad. That's definitely not what I'm saying. But it's a song that takes itself serious by having a lot of like interesting and like legitimate lyrics and punchlines. So that's what I like about this. Like I do feel like it is a no-brainer title, but it's definitely like it's reflecting what the song is about 100%. 100%. Even if it's just by like a couple bars. You know what I mean? But all in all, one thing you can say, this is absolutely a showcase of writing and lyricism, no doubt. No doubt. Not even a question. Not even a question. So huge shout out to Blank Thought, huge shout out to Zim. Make sure you follow Zim on Spotify, and of course, make sure you follow Blank Thought on Twitter. Blank Thought is approaching 1.3 on the Bird app, a little over 50 followers away. So go show Blank Thought some love, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel. If you haven't already, my friends, we're literally 5 away, bro. We are 5 subs away from 230. We'll get there. We'll get there. But if you're not already subbed, definitely consider subscribing. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff available on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists in the channel some love. And of course, huge shout out to everybody that already has, my friends. Thank you. Love that he trusts me to help his vision. Yeah, no, 100%. I like that duo a lot. It's a very underrated duo for sure. 100%. But, with that said, huge shout out to Blank Thought for bringing music on his Patreon. If you are interested in anything to do with the Patreon, you want to go check out the Patreon, go check out the link down below, or just go check out any of our socials. It's linked there as well. But our first community submission of the night, the homie Juzo, aka Juzo Art, birthday double single just dropped. Now I don't remember if we've reacted to Juzo here on the show. I think we have, haven't we? I'm almost certain we have. Or they've just made like a lot of SoundCloud Sundays. We did something with Juzo though. I'm pretty sure they have, but I'm gonna treat it like a first time submission just because it's been so long, or what feels like so long. But Juzo submitted Blade Laurent. Let's go see what we got here. Pop this open, a new tab. Wham blam. Got a little Spotify link here. Okay, so we got a little double song drop here. Okay, so we'll go with Fendi Fiend, and then of course, if Juzo wants to resubmit Lafayette next week, I'm totally down. But let's go with Fendi Fiend for this week, and clocking it at 2:09. Let's get into it. Juzo, Fendi Fiend.
Fendi Fiend, she an expensive breed. So far gone in my wants and greeds. I like peeps who keep it a buck, I'ma be honest. Some of these lames ain't playing too much, man, y'all better stop it. 100, run it. Easy, Jesus in my walk. All you motherfuckers only talk the talk. Upper echelon, I'm on my blade the wine. Let's get right, yeah. Huh, okay, yeah. Let's get right, huh. What you got now, yeah. Shorty in the short shorts. Love me some thighs. Didn't need a pipe, but kind of a shy guy. If you on my side, we finna fine dine. Rolling with the crew in the Elantra, speeding through I-5. Trying to get to all my goals. My pinnacle, Anima City got the soul. I'll never fall. Ain't no limits to this shit. Shout out to Sammy. Hidden village in this bitch, that's my family. Yeah, okay. HK boy in this whole phase. Yeah, so babe, tell me how does my low taste? I'ma go eating in on you pussies. If you want smoke, say less. On site, my squad about to fucking go ballistic. Yeah, we on the damn apex. Let's get right. Yeah. Huh. Okay. Yeah. Woo. Let's get right. Huh. What you got now? Yeah.
Okay. All right. There's a lot I want to talk about here because there's a lot I really like about this track. Let's get into it, man, because this is kind of an interesting layout and structure for sure. So let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. We're gonna talk about three things here. We're talking about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Fendi Fiend. So, let's talk instrumental. So, let's talk mix. The mix is fucking fantastic. Like, the mix is something that hits you in the face as soon as you play this track. No question. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. I feel like the whole instrumental was just so, like, I don't even know if you could want a better mix. Everything hits super hard. Everything kind of has its own space. Again, nothing clashing, too overbearing. Vocal sick. Everything just perfect for this. Like, really, really perfect. Everything has enough, like, grit to it, but it doesn't sound like overdone. So I'm big on this mix. I'm really, really big on them. Like, I'm big on the mix, especially when it comes to the drums, for sure. Speaking of which, the instrumental Shining Star, absolutely fucking drums. More specifically, the 808. I like the 808 a lot in this. I like the pattern. I like the sound selection. I like the way it was mixed. Yeah, like the drums kind of like took the reign here for me. Like really, really took the reign. Like no question. Obviously melody is a close second, and I like the structure as well. I feel like structure is up there, but yeah, we're definitely gonna go with the drums for sure. The drums were crazy. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix again was fantastic. I don't think the vocals were like too overdone at all or like too overly processed. I like the vocal mix actually. Like, being completely honest with you, you know, Juzo's an artist that we don't have a lot of background on as far as their discography goes, but when it comes down to this track in particular, I like the vocal mix a lot. Not too raw, but it's not like overly processed, right? I feel like it's definitely like hitting that nice middle ground, especially for this instrumental. And I mean, shit, like all the way down to the ad libs, like everything was like, it's just perfect. So a vocal mix is definitely solid. Again, it's nice on the instrumental. Everything cuts through nicely. I feel like the vocals are very separate from the instrumental, and everything's kind of like feeling in its own space, which I think is like really, really fucking solid. I like that a lot. So the vocal mix is fantastic for sure. Vocal Shining Star. Probably flow and cadence and delivery, I'm not gonna lie. Probably flow and cadence and delivery. Just because it fit the instrumental so well. It has that like almost like attitude kind of style to it, but I feel like Juzo's very confident here. That's something I really like about this is like the massive amount of confidence. So yeah, I'm really big on that for sure. So delivery, flow, and cadence, absolutely. No question. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. So, let's take a little look at this art here. So, Juzo is also a super, and I mean fucking super talented designer. So this is what I mean when I say I want to take submissions, and we always have taken submissions since day one from all types of artists, not just musicians, right? Instrumentals, photos, designs, writing, YouTube uploads, you know, everything like that. And this is why, because assuming Juzo did this art, which they probably did, absolutely fucking crazy. It has this like 2133 like Blade Runner like insane aesthetic, but it's also very like simple and minimalist. Like it has a really like good minimalist feel to it. There's not too much going on either, and the character in the middle is like pretty much center stage, which I think is like perfect for this. 100% perfect to this. And I'm a big fan of the smaller things, right? So the Dolby logo in the bottom left and the parental advisory in the middle. Like, I think all of those at the bottom really make this like a lot for sure. Especially for just like a little 2-track EP. This was excellent. You know what I mean? Totally like project worthy, but could have easily been like a single art as well. You know what I mean? Absolutely could have. Like, no question. No question. So, overall theme, Bendy Fiend. So I don't think this was written with like a clear like, you know, A to B kind of theme here. I definitely don't. Just because it has that like freestyle kind of structure, and it's very like, it's not like braggadocious, but it's very like it has that freestyle kind of feel to it. Which I think was the intention, if I'm being honest with you. I don't think that this was a track that like Juzo really tried to be super deep on. Which I always say, like, you don't need to be necessarily like writing about a theme throughout the whole song and da 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 da, but this is very much on like the alternate trap scale of like actually like a showcase of writing skill, performance skill, actually like flowing and like being comfortable with the instrumental. This is way more artistry than it is like super theme oriented, and I appreciate that. I think Juzo did a really good job kind of showing what they can do as an artist. You know what I mean? Something that actually bangs and doesn't have to be like super deep. So well done. Well done. With that said, huge shout out to Juzo. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you follow Juzo on Spotify, and of course, make sure you follow them on Twitter. They're approaching 3.7K on the Bird app, my friends. Let's go give Juzo some love. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, subscribe if you haven't already. We're approaching 230 subscribers on the Music Mondays channel, my friends. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, whole lot of good stuff's available over there, man. So go show these artists on the channel some love. If you already have, thank you, my friend. Appreciate you here at Music Mondays. So, and I actually just dug it, like, out of my fucking memory, bro. I dug it way out of my memory. I do remember a Juzo submission, like, maybe, like, 4 weeks ago or something like that. It's definitely been some time, but I do remember it. Pretty sure. But anyways, let's continue on. Up next, we got the homie Laveries. Laveries has been submitting consistently since they dropped their album, and we've actually almost gone through the whole entire thing. But for those of you who don't know, Laveries, a super talented alternative hip-hop artist, submitted a track titled A New Muse. After this, you've heard the entire album. Thank you so much. Let me know what you think about the album as a whole. Will do, my friend. Let's go. See, this is the first time an artist is actually, like submitted, like consistently, like, 1 track a week, so we can, like, actually, like, grasp the album on the show, right? And react to everything live. But in future segments, we're definitely going to be able to kind of expand on albums as a whole. But that's like a really good way to do it here on the show. But with that said, the last track of Laveries' latest album, From My Soul to Your Ears, A New Muse. Go. Yep.
Whatever you wanna do, just know I'm down for you. Gotta get back in the stool and find the time for
Searching for patience, searching for patience. Baby, what happened between us? Baby, what happened between us?
I can't write music no more. I feel like I should put my pen down and maybe put the drugs down and detox for a little while. Then I'll be back thinking straight. My brain gon' help me navigate. Pen on paper like ice on skates. I'm gon' write a hit today. Tell that to the universe so it can help me write this verse. I'll always put this music first. My bitch next, my wealth third. Tell that to the universe so it can help me write this verse. I'll always put this music first. My bitch next, my wealth third. Whatever you wanna do, just know I'm down for you. Gotta get back in the stool and find the time for you. I don't know what I'm doing. I can't get lost in the music. Whatever you wanna do, just know I'm down for you. Gotta get back in the stool and find the time for you. I don't know what I'm doing. I wanna get lost in your music. I think I need a new muse to get me back into it. If I can't write music no more, I may go stupid. Cause this music be the breath in me. Won't let it get the best of me. But it's the best part of me. I put my all in this shit. I done can't fall in this shit. I gotta make sure that I'm winning. They gon' all know that I'm him. The GOAT, the one that they brag and boast about. She know I'm love Aries. She want me all up in the mouth. But for now, I gotta settle down and focus up. I'm done fucking up. I won't come second to none. Gotta get this out, I'm done. On God, it's one-on-one. I take this shit so serious, but I'm always having fun. Whatever you wanna do, just know I'm down for you. Gotta get back in the stool and find the time for you. I don't know what I'm doing. I can't get lost in the music. Whatever you wanna do, just know I'm down for you. Gotta get back in the stool and find the time for you. I don't know what I'm doing. I wanna get lost in your music.
Okay. Alright, so we're gonna pull up the track list for sure here, just because I feel like the track list is gonna be relevant. So that was track 8. Okay. Alright, let's break this one down, chat. This is the final track from the 9-song project from Laverius. So, let's talk about it, man. So, we're gonna get some thoughts on the whole project at the end, but for now, we're gonna talk about a new news. So, man, this is kind of an interesting one, and I could see why it's like placed more towards the end of the project. I do feel like it's one of those that feels like a good closer song, if I'm being totally honest with you. That's what I do like about this. But we're gonna talk about 3 things here. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of A New Muse. So, the instrumental's fantastic. I like the instrumental choice a lot. That's one thing I can say for the whole album, to be honest with you, is the instrumental choices throughout the whole project is like A1, like super A1. So that's one thing that's like really fucking redeeming for sure. I like that a lot. But as far as this instrumental goes, I like the choice again. The mix is fantastic. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. The vocals sit nice. I like the drum selection and the sound selection a lot. It has that like emotional yet like hard-hitting Laverius kind of feel to it. So again, perfect choice for sure. Mix is fantastic. No gripes with the mix at all. So the mix is definitely up there. I'm trying to think, because the instrumental Shining Star, right? There's a couple things that I really liked about this. Structure, absolutely. Drums, absolutely. But the melody is like, it is something that you hear right off rip, and again, I feel like you're just gonna remember this melody for sure. So I feel like the melody is definitely a Shining Star, but the drums are right behind it as far as a Shining Star goes, but definitely the melody. Definitely the melody. It just feels like that ending closer kind of melody, almost an outro. But definitely the melody for sure. Definitely the melody. Um, so instrumental solid, melody's definitely a shining star. Let's talk vocals. So the vocal mix is great. It's definitely the same mix throughout the whole project, right? I definitely feel like the mix is right where it needs to be as far as this track goes. I would have liked to seen a little bit more auto tune on the hook of this because I feel like I think like after like the first verse, there was like this kind of bridge slash like intro to the first verse that had a lot of auto tune on it, and I think Laveri sounded really solid. I think Laveri sounded really really solid with like a decent amount of auto tune. So that might be something you want to like explore later down the line. But this album was so like versatile that I feel like trying everything was the main goal here. But other than that, the vocal mix is fantastic and kind of reflects the vocal mix throughout the whole project, right? I definitely think the vocal mix throughout the whole project is very consistent, and that's what matters. But the vocal mix in this one in particular is right where it needs to be. Super level, nothing clashing to overbearing. Vocals sit nice in the instrumental. Nothing's kind of like hogging space. I enjoy the mix a lot for sure. Um, hmm. Vocal shining star. I feel like the writing is gonna take the cake here for me. I don't know why. I just feel like the writing is like what matters here a lot. Um, just because it's a super like meaningful song and it has like a lot of like substance behind it. So that's what I like about this is Laveri is definitely like not like super sad or emotional or anything like that, but it's a very honest track, right? As you know, a lot of the tracks on the album are. And the writing on this one though was like very particular and almost like storytelling as well. So definitely the writing. Definitely the writing for sure. So um instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Um vocal solid, definitely the writing. Talk theme. So, I have reacted to this cover quite a few times, but again, if you're new here and you're like, yo, fuck is the deal with this? Well, let's talk theme. Aesthetics are very much on point for a project like this. I like the aesthetics because again, it's one of those simple covers that, you know, the more you look at, the more you're kind of like expanding upon it and you're like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Like every time I pop it back open, I notice like a new section of this cover. So it has that like simple effect to it, but very much project worthy for sure. I like this for a project a lot, no question. No question. So overall theme, a new muse. I do feel like Laveri's is talking about a person as far as like a muse goes, right? But at the same time, Laveri's has like a lot of thoughts throughout this whole project and this track of like uh like a new muse as like a metaphor almost like, you know, music or um money or family or things like that that can replace like maybe a muse that's, you know, actually a partner. You know what I mean? I almost feel like this is one of the more deeper tracks on the whole project just because you could have really took this a couple different ways. And I think Laveri's was really just spilling their mind rather than kind of like trying to like stick to one theme. I feel like Laveri's was like really like letting it out and like ultimately like letting the point be known that they're gonna like really lock in and like always be focused. And I think that's something to like really talk about here, especially towards the end of a project like this. I feel like Laveri's did a really good job kind of expanding upon those thoughts for sure. No question. So before we go, let's have a little bit of a discussion about the whole project itself. So, from my soul to your ears, couple things. I love the instrumental selection throughout the whole project. All 9 instrumentals were fantastic. I like the variety as well. This is a very like versatile mixtape and project. Um, you could call it an album, you could call it a project, you could call it a it's more of a project, right? But you could definitely call it an album as well. So the thing here is, I think a lot of the positives come from the versatility and how Laveri's kind of not like took a risk, but didn't really care to like try to stick to like one sound, because they definitely have a good variety of sounds, and I do feel like there's a common theme here, but each track is like a little bit different than the next. They're very much like all personal tracks as well, but I think the thing here is like Laveri's did a lot of like going outside of the box and like trying to level up and like trying to kind of sharpen the sword that they have right now, so to speak. So there was a lot of like really interesting positives here about this project. You know what I mean? Especially looking back as almost like a month later, right? October 31st. So the main thing is like putting this together as well as Laveri's did means that there's more to come. You know what I mean? Like Laveri's is only going to get better from here if they're already doing all of this. And all of the little things matter too, right? Like throwing the Austin Skinner feature on there, having the interlude on there, kind of going with like a more like emotional, like honest kind of track list, right? And then kind of topping it all off with like a proper track order. I feel like where a lot of these tracks are placed on this track list is really fucking solid. So I like how many, I don't think Laveri's has another project, right? Yeah, okay, yeah. So that totally makes sense then, yeah. So this is their first like album in terms of like, you know, 8 or more songs. And I think they did fantastic. Like I would love to see more of this. I would love to see a lot more of the whole kind of like theme and really like not sticking to one style. I feel like Laveri's has a lot of styles that they can expand upon. And this project was only like a very early start to what Laveri's can really do when it comes to projects. So I'm definitely excited for the future. Definitely excited. So with that said, huge shout out to Laveri's. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you follow Laveri's on Spotify. And of course, make sure you follow Laveri's on Twitter. They finally hit 100. Let's fucking go. Go get Laveri's to 110, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 230 subscribers on the main channel, my friends. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, underground tips and tricks, a whole lot of good stuff's available over there, man. So go check out the channel, go subscribe if you like what you see, and huge shout out to everybody that already has. Much love. So Laveri's, that was fantastic, my friend. Let's fucking get it. Up next, we have the homie Braden. And Braden kind of went a little rogue here. New aesthetic, by the way. Damn, a new aesthetic. What the fuck? Oh, shit. Okay, so let's see here. Braden, a very, very talented alternative vocalist, submitted a track titled Racks. And this has a brand new style of cover art, man. So kind of excited to see Braden kind of break the streak there and use a little bit something more different. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into it. Braden, Racks, let's go. Oh shit.
Okay. I just got a bag. The way they move is sad, made me wanna move back. I don't mean to brag, but I just made some racks. They envy the success, and I know they acting mad. You ain't got no father, little bitch, where your dad at? Like where he at? I'ma take out pops and I'll smoke 'em in a pack. I don't smoke no cigarettes, I won't do no drag. Cause I'm too damn rich to be dying like that. Ay. Stupid bitch, don't make no assumptions. Why you so when I step inside that function? Like who's a go bitch, this ain't no discussion. I don't even write my lyrics, all I do is up, you won't fuck some. Then you leave me to my lonesome. Somebody free me from this dungeon. It don't even matter, cause I just go to bed. The way they move is sad, make me wanna move back. I don't mean to brag, but I just made some racks. They envy the success, and I know they acting mad. You ain't got no father, little bitch, where your dad at? Like where you at? I'ma take out pops and I'll smoke them in a pack. I don't smoke no cigarettes, I won't do no drugs. Cause I'm too damn rich to be dying like that.
Okay. Okay. Well done. Really well done. I like this track a lot. This kind of has that like laid back, chill style that we know Brayden for, but it still bangs and it still has that like hard hitting feel. So, let's break this one down. So, let's talk about three things here. We'll talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Rax. So instrumental kind of has the solid like alt trap, alternative plug kind of sound, but it's a little bit softer as well, which I kind of like. So when it comes to the mix, fantastic, absolutely fantastic, hard hitting, nice and muddy, but not too muddy. Everything's nice and low, nothing clashing to overbearing. The vocals sit nice, everything cuts through nicely. No gripes with the instrumental at all. Usually that is the case with Brayden, but something you always want to point out, you know what I mean? But the instrumental mix is definitely fantastic. No question at all. Instrumental Shining Star. I feel like the melody is very memorable here, if I'm being completely honest with you. But I do like the drums, and the sound selection overall is great. But I feel like the melody kind of takes the cake here as far as like being that like dreamlike ambient kind of sound that we're used to from Brayden, but the drums like come in and actually make it pretty hard hitting. So I kind of want to say the melody. Definitely the melody for sure. Let's talk vocals. Mix is fantastic. Again, Brayden's in artists where they have a relatively consistent mix throughout all their tracks, right? Vocals sit nice, everything's nice and level. Brayden has a really solid like natural voice. So, you know, the mix is always hitting that sweet spot of like not like overly processed, but not like super raw either. So I definitely think it hits a nice middle ground for sure. Yeah, everything's nice and level. Everything cuts through. Drums cut through. Vocals sit nice. No gripes. Definitely no gripes at all. But not a shocker. Vocal Shining Star. I like the flow and cadence on this one, and like the overall delivery and performance was really solid on this. Like Brayden sounded confident. They're like slightly melodic, but they're also like going like bar for bar. So like there's a lot of like really like good positives about this performance and delivery and recording overall. So yeah, flow and cadence and delivery for sure, definitely. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody, vocal solid, definitely flow, cadence, and delivery, and the overall performance. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. This is the first time. Actually, no. This is the first time in a long time that we've seen some new aesthetics for Brayden, right? Because if you guys don't know, Brayden's one of the more consistent artists when it comes to their art choices, kind of how they approach tracks, right? Because we usually get a little bit more of a different aesthetic from Brayden. But with that said, as much as I do like the consistent aesthetic, I do feel like it's nice to switch it up a bit and be like, nah, fuck that, I want to use this. Like anything that like satisfies that like creative itch, I think you should use. You know what I mean? So if you feel like being consistent and that shit's like really solid for you, do it. But if you want to like go against the grain and go a little bit more simple or switch it up, I feel like this is a really solid way to go too. But as far as the picture used, I feel like this is so funny because this guy's face and the way he's like sitting is like how Braden is kind of like writing and performing this song. It's just like, yeah, I just got racks. You guys are fucking shit. Y'all lazy motherfuckers. Tired of this life. Need some competition kind of like a feel, you know what I mean? So I like this choice for a cover. And then of course the like raw art style is like always a positive. Always a positive. So I like the art choice. Definitely like the art choice a lot. Overall theme. I mean racks, right? Kind of like a like a easy topic to get behind, right? But I do feel like this is a track where Braden kind of like strayed away from like having like a crystal clear like ultimate like this is what this song is about kind of theme, because as they mentioned in the track, they just kind of punch in, punch out. So not everything's like truly about writing or like really thought of that deeply. But this track kind of takes that thought and like expands upon it, right? Because I feel like Braden kind of really took like the freestyle approach, but not really like a freestyle approach. It has a little bit of consistency and like structure to it, which is nice, you know what I mean? So it's more of like a lyrical and vocal showcase than it is like a ultimate like crazy theme, you know? So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to Braden. Thank you so much for the submission, friend. Much love. Make sure you follow Braden on Spotify, and of course, make sure you follow Braden on Twitter. Braden's approaching 50 followers. Go show Braden some love with the bird app, my friends. And if you want, go show him some like double super love, because he's only 11 away from 60. So go show Braden some love. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube free upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 230 subscribers on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, my friends. We upload 2 times a week, literally. Every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a lot of good stuff's available on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists in the channel some love. We already have. Thank you, my friends. So we left off with the homie Braden. Up next, we got the homie Jordan, aka Jordan Andrew, and this is an artist who absolutely had it just a fucking insane year, like a really, really insane year. Collabs, shows, interviews, just so many great things from Jordan. So this week, Jordan, a alternative vocalist, very, very talented producer, submitted at 11 p.m. on the 23rd by Jordan. So Thanksgiving on the 23rd by Jordan. I'm down. Let's see what we got here. I feel like it's going to be a very interesting concept, for sure. I'm excited to see. I'm definitely excited to see. All right, so turn up the volume. Bam, bam. Go 1080. 3 days ago, 24 next month. Let's go. 24 next month. Let's get it. Let's go. Prod Jordan. Okay. Let's see what we got here, my friends. Jordan, 11 p.m. on the 23rd by Jordan. Prod Jordan. Ooh.
It's almost been a year since my last tattoo. Got this one on my ribs, I know it's sadly true. I don't know what this is, but no, I'm not mad at you. It took a while to understand that this is what we have to do in this life to do just alright. I wake up some days with just too much to write. I'm starting with the shit that's been stuck in my head and replaying all that was but shouldn't be said. I'm explaining now why my hands are covered in red. You caught me in the act. I've been stealing moments of peace for myself that I'm not giving back. And I'm killing these beats like they were sentenced to that. Added the exclamation point to the lowercase letters to represent that which is everything at one time. When I feel everything under the sunshine, Appreciate you checking in then to know that I was fine. Yeah, I know 23 supposedly was mine. I'm taking another year, I hope that you don't mind. Just let me do this one time.
Hey.
One time. I know I'm kinda getting lost, but who the fuck is that? Holy time for Pentecost, like when is Jesus coming back? Rappers asking what's the cost for the beat when I out rap. I forgot what it was like to need him on the track. I come back up once and he come and ether every beat. I'ma get my ass back to work and feed him like every week. You know TM never peak, you know we forever up and here we're so back. If you caught us in August, you already know that. Yeah, you should know that. Know that was so bad. And then I never left. Yeah. Private thoughts more confident than not. I think it's obvious I'm not swinging first with the knockout. If we thought about it, had to slow the smoke so I could have a single thought without it. I've been too damn close to the storm, can't get caught around it. Been working on my form so I won't start to doubt it when there's pressure. All results get questioned when there could be better effort. Thought I learned my lesson, but damn it, now my head hurts. Slow progression, now I'm walking big stepper, moving towards second. I'm safe if I go head first, but I spike you just to spite you. Oh no man, do the right thing. Fuck, cut off the right wing, I'm still spinning in circles. Tell me exactly what happens when you make patience a virtue. They can still forget you now and that's really what hurts you. It's not exactly what I need, but I guess this works too.
What the fuck? Holy shit. What? Damn. Damn. That was fucking crazy. That. Oh, man. Okay. Alright. So let's break this one down. So, we're gonna talk about three things here. We're talking about the channel, talking about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the official visual for 11 p.m. on the 23rd by Jordan. So, this was fantastic, man. This brings me back to like the Jordan that that first submitted to Music Mondays, but also fully like evolved and like really like a newer, mature, but still learning kind of artist, right? Shout out SLM. But yeah, let's talk instrumental. So Prod Jordan has the real like winter Thanksgiving kind of feel, especially with the melody here, but the mix is fantastic. Nothing clashing, too overbearing, nothing like super crazy. Everything's nice and level. Everything cuts through nicely. Even the drums are kind of doing their own thing. I like the sound selection a lot, so mix is right where it needs to be, especially when it comes to the instrumental. No gripes at all. Definitely no gripes at all. Instrumental Shining Star, I kind of want to say the melody. I really like the melody on this and like how it's utilized. It just gave that like winter snowfall, like pre-winter late fall kind of feel to it for sure. So yeah, definitely the melody for definitely. Let's talk vocals. So vocal mix is great. You know, again, Jordan's natural voice is like really fucking solid. So when it comes down to their mix, sometimes it's not like overly processed. Sometimes it's like processed a little differently, but it's never like too raw or too natural. I feel like Jordan has like a nice hold on how they want their vocals to sound for certain songs. But this one in particular has that like home, comfortable kind of feel when it comes to their vocals. So I like the mix a lot. Again, nothing clashing, nothing too overbearing, nothing like that's like fully jumping out right. But definitely like hits the mark. Definitely. Vocal Shining Star. Writing all day. This is everything from storytelling to punchlines to like just personal experiences, like the writing, absolutely the writing. Jordan went fucking crazy on this. This just it just takes me back, man. It just reminds me of like this time last year almost, I guess. So yeah, no, this is fantastic. Writing all day. Flow and cadence is definitely like a close second, and not just like the performance as well. Um, so instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely the writing. Flow and cadence is a close second. Let's talk theme. Actually, no, pause. We're not talking theme. We're talking about the visual, because this is like almost in like the time lapse kind of fashion, but it's not really a time lapse. There's a lot of cuts, there's a lot of splices, a lot of like nice small edits here that I think really did this justice. And I love the one angle throughout the whole visual. I feel like the one angle throughout the whole visual really kind of like really goes hard here. I really like this a lot. So absolutely just like hits home as far as like being comfortable. You know what I mean? Really, really hits home as far as being something I really like resonate with is like the ambience of this. But it's like so cool to me because I think The Shining Star is the concept, but how much more mature and evolved Jordan and Make More Creative Junk are at this point. So when Jordan goes back and does visuals like this, I feel like these are hard as fuck. I really, really like these a lot. Just because they're so simple and they're not like overly edited and they're not trying to be something they're not. It's just a like really like interesting like take on like a studio video. So it's really kind of like pushing the bar and like it's like a really intimate experience for new supporters of Jordan or um new people that are just discovering this. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh damn, this is really hard. So this is definitely one of my favorite visuals for sure. Definitely right up there for one of the top ones this year, no doubt, no doubt. With that said, huge shout out to Jordan. Thank you so much for this. Much love. Make sure you follow Jordan and MMCJ on YouTube. They're 6 subs away from 30. Go show them some love on the tube, man. And of course, make sure you follow Jordan on Twitter. They're 3 followers away from 360. Go show them some love on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We are approaching 230 subscribers on the main channel, my friends. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes. A lot of good stuff. Go show these artists and the channel some love. If you already have, thank you. But, with that said, we are just about halfway through the show, so you know what that means. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we return, we're going to go right through the rest of these community submissions and talk about what's coming for the rest of the week here at Music Mondays. So with that said, stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Well, actually, definitely go anywhere. Go get a drink, go get a snack, go do what you need to do. But when we return, we'll continue with episode 149 of the Music Mondays podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here live with the Music Mondays Podcast, episode 149. Hope you're well, hope you're chilling. I'm your host, Tom Slays. How are we, friends? How are we? So, getting right back on the swing of things, we left off with the homie Jordan. He showed out to Jordan. That was an amazing summer. Up next, we have Burnt Pixels. I believe we've reacted to Burnt Pixels before here on the show. I think we did last week, if I'm not entirely mistaken. But with that said, they submitted a track titled Dark Offices. Hello, Music Money is really keen to introduce our third album, Dark Offices. It came out on Halloween. Let's go. Album number 3, Dark Offices, October 31st. You love that. Let's get into it. Okay, let's see what we got here, chat. 13 bangers. Oh yeah, I definitely don't remember this cover art at all. Okay. Lots of longer tracks on here as well. Alright, let's get into it. Let's play the first track off of the project, Dark Offices. Let's get into it. Intro is probably going to be relatively long. Wow. Insane. Really, really insane, actually. Because like I said, I believe we have reacted to Burnt Pixels before, but that's I definitely feel like it's been a while, and that was like a really insane representation. That was nuts. That was really okay. Okay. Much to discuss here, so let's break it down. We'll talk about three things here. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of this track. So, let's talk instrumental. So, the song clocks in at about like a little over 5 minutes, right? Like 5:05 or so. And the instrumental throughout the whole fucking song is fantastic, like absolutely fantastic. But even deeper, the mix is great. Nothing clashing to it. Everything's nice and level. Like this track is very like instrumental heavy. That's the thing here. So the mix is something you really got to pay attention to, and I think they did a fantastic job. Definitely no gripes with this at all. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Vocals sit nice. Structure's nice. Sound selection's nice. Like everything's nice across the board. So, no gripes with the mix. Instrumental Shining Star. Back to the structure. Absolutely is the structure. Like no question. Instrumental Shining Star is definitely the motherfucking structure. Especially for something that's 5 minutes long, and to keep it progressing and to keep it refreshing and versatile. Structure, no doubt. Structure, absolutely. Vocal Shining Star, or no, I'm sorry, vocal mix. Let's talk vocal mix. Fantastic. I feel like the main vocalist here has a really great natural voice. So again, I feel like the mix didn't need to be like super crazy on this one, but it's not like super raw either. It has that like fine processing to it. So I feel like the vocal mix is definitely right where it needs to be. Again, nothing clashing too overbearing. Everything cuts through nicely. Everything's nice and level. Just a well-rounded vocal mix for what this is, no question. Hmm. Vocal Shining Star, there's so much I like, but delivery, flow, and cadence, and the overall performance is excellent. Like, this vocalist absolutely killed this. It's just as much instrumental heavy as it is vocal heavy. So that's why the delivery, the flow, and cadence, everything had to be really on point here. So definitely delivery, flow, and cadence, performance, no question. Let's talk theme. So, with the fact that this is a whole project in mind with 13 songs, this is an insane cover. Like, this is an insane fucking cover. I love the detail on this. I love everything about this cover, like, no question. It has, like, the perfect aesthetic and the perfect kind of, feel to it, especially, like, for a track right off rip. Like, this track, like, super, like, right off rip is like, very aesthetically pleasing to the ear, for sure. So I feel like a project of this magnitude had to kind of have something that lives up a little bit to the massive sound that we have here. So without a doubt, I like this choice a lot. No question. No question. Overall theme. So I wouldn't say that this track has like a super standout theme. This is one of those songs that definitely like settles in the more you listen to it, as I'm sure the whole project kind of does. This strikes me as one of those projects that I have a feeling, I could be completely wrong, but it grows on you for one, but the understanding of it and how deep it gets continues the more you listen to it, right? So when it comes down to like the first track off of a project, This would 100% make me, as a first-time listener, want to continue to listen to Dark Offices. No question. So well done, my friends. Well done. Huge shout out to Burnt Pixels. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you follow them on Spotify, and of course, make sure you follow Burnt Pixels on Twitter. They are 4 followers away from 320. Go show them some love on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 230 subscribers on the main channel, my friends. Go show these artists on the channel some love. And if you already have, thank you. Thank you. So, up next would be the homie Blank Thought, but Blank Thought is Music Mondays Patreon, so we already reacted to Blank Thought earlier in the show. Definitely check out the full episode if you're interested in submission. So, cruising by Blank Thought, we have the homie Heavy Metaphors. Now, it's been some weeks since we've heard from Heavy, man. Probably September-ish, maybe October, I could be wrong. But Heavy, a super talented alternative producer, submitted BOTA, Eliza Rose, remix, Prod, Heavy Metaphors. Let's see what we got here. Let's see here. So we'll pop open the SoundCloud version. Go like that. Hit a little pause so we don't hit the autoplay. Go back to our submissions. Wham blam. Okay. Let's get into it. Heavy Metaphors, Eliza Rose, BOTA remix. Let's go. No way. Yeah. Yep. Oh no. Shit. That fade in is crazy. What a heater. Oh. Oh shit. Solid. Super fucking solid. I didn't know what to expect there, right? I mean, especially when it comes to like uh remixes in general. More often than not it'll catch you off guard. This one was right on the money. I think this one was very original, very like up there for like what you'd expect for like an independent remix. I like this a lot. Um Obviously no vocals, just remix vocals. So we're gonna talk about two things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of this remix. So, let's talk instrumental. So the mix itself is great. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Structure's great. Vocals sit nice. All of the effects and fade-ins are fucking fantastic. I love the variety throughout the song. No gripes with this at all. Definitely no gripes at all. I love the mix. Like a fantastic mix. Like I said, all the way down to the effects. I wouldn't change a thing. Everything's nice and solid here. Sure. So the instrumental mix is solid. Instrumental shining star. There's so many things I like about this, right? Sound selection's great. Patterns are great. But I think the thing that really like stuck with me was the structure. I like how everything is fading in and out constantly. I like the different sets of drums. I like the addition of new sounds. I think Heavy did a really good job keeping up with the variety here, but not going too erratic. I feel like they hit the mark for sure. So definitely the structure. No doubt the structure. Big on the structure. Absolutely. So instrumental solid, definitely the structure. Let's talk theme. So just a little slight Heavy Metaphors aesthetic here going on, right? Nothing like ultimately that crazy, but Heavy slowly developed an aesthetic when it comes to cover art. So I like to see them keep up with that consistency. That's always solid. Overall theme. I mean, lyrically, we kind of know what the theme is, right? Especially when it comes down to a remix, but I feel like Heavy had a really good mix of genres here, right? It felt electronic. It definitely felt fast-paced. It definitely felt a little bit of like alt hip-hop with some of the sound selection. It's tag trip-hop. It definitely has that like not so much of like an EDM kind of feel, but it has that like dance club kind of feel a little bit, slightly alt pop as well. But like I said, I feel like Heavy did a really good job blending all these genres and making like a fresh original remix. Well done. Well done, my friend. Huge shout out to Heavy Metaphors. Make sure you follow their alternate SoundCloud. They're 10 followers away from 20, so go show them some love. And of course, make sure you follow Heavy on Twitter. They're approaching 1.1K on the Bird app, so go show them some love on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked of the YouTube free upload. And subscribe, man. We're like 5 subs away from 230, okay? We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast, exclusive segments, whole lot of good stuff's available. And huge shout out to everybody that's already subbed to the channel. You guys are amazing. Let's continue. So, huge shout out to Heavy. That was a great remix. Well done, my friend. Up next, we have the homie, no name Dread. Now, Dread is kind of coming back for a little end of the year spree, right? Dread, a very talented alternative hip hop artist and producer, has been consistently submitting to the show for the last couple of weeks. So, definitely excited to see what Dread has been up to. I believe this track made SoundCloud Sunday last night as well. So, let's see if we can check it out here on the show. So, Dread submitted a track titled Ghost Prod. So, let's pop this open in a new tab and see what we got here. Because I am down for the cause. This art is actually fucking crazy. But, we're going to talk about that in a second. Let's get into it. No Name Dread. Okay.
We can fade where you got. I'm on that fish, no cod. Go, go, so God. Go, 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 hold. I'm up in my prime. Still feel like I need a rewind. Skip back and slow down time. Just keep moving forward and keep trying. Lost with it, wasted all the time. Wasted time fucking with these lines. Weary of the road, cause scattered minds. On my mind, still I'm on my grind. Threw my hope away, okay, great. People fake their lies shit to your face. Jesus, wait, I float away to space. Okay, because I go ghost anyway. Go away, go ghost. Trying on pain of the most. We all do say no, no. All hear the same, oh no. Mom ain't gone, ain't close. Finally tell you to steady. Try slow down, I ain't ready. Take Friday night, but no, not Freddy. Just another drugs, but still I'm empty. Call me burnt out, but no, don't test me.
What the fuck? Bro. That's just insane, man. That is insane. I remember not too long ago I was tweaking out over a Dread submission and they had such a unique like hook and flow and so many things here were just like super fucking unique. And this is all the same, definitely. So let's break this one down, my friends. We're gonna talk about three things here. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Ghost. So, man, all right. So let's talk instrumental. So, instrumental mix, absolutely fucking fantastic. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Everything's super fucking level. Like, so level that I was watching my my audio meter on the side and like nothing was like it was just insane how level this actually is. Including the instrumental. So, the mix is fucking fantastic. I like the drum selection as well. Again, super level, right where it needs to be. Big fan of this mix. Instrumental Shining Star, man. I love the melody here. I love the kind of like reverse effect going on, but the drums are so unique as well. Like even the drum selection was like very fucking unique. So we could really go either way here. And then even the structure like is also fantastic. So I guess if I had to pick, probably the melody. It's catchy, but it's very memorable as well. So definitely the melody. So instrumental solid, Shining Star definitely the melody. Let's talk vocals here. Dread's vocals just get crispier and crispier. Like they just nail their vocal mix when it comes down to like doing any kind of like pitching variety or like sounding different on certain songs. Dread really knows how to like hit that sweet spot, which I really like. But I think the vocal mix here is fan fucking tastic. Not like too over processed, but it's not super natural or like trying to do something that's different. It's right where Dread needs to be in the end. Dread knows where like that spot is for their voice. I feel like they nail it every time. And again, everything sits nice, everything cuts through nicely, nothing clashing at all. Vocal mix is great to me, definitely. Vocal Shining Star is kind of interesting because the hook is really crazy, but the overall writing is something that's like really nuts. And then the flowing cadence is up there too, so I really like the flowing cadence here though, like but the writing in probably flowing cadence and delivery if I'm being honest with you. just because it just adds so much like uniqueness to this song. So definitely Flow and Cadence and Delivery, but the writing and hook is a close second for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. What a crazy ass cover choice. A crazy ass cover choice. This song definitely has that like ghost kind of cold ambient, but like ethereal kind of feel to it. So I feel like this is a really fucking solid choice. Like if there's any picture to describe how this song kind of feels like, it's definitely this. Definitely this, no question. So aesthetics absolutely on point. Slap a little parental advisory on there. You're good to go. Overall theme, relatively obvious theme, but I feel like Dread does a really good job expanding upon it, right? Because it is about like going ghost and not really like fucking with people that like aren't 100% like caring for you. But it's also like recognizing your own faults and like kind of realizing like what you need to do and what you want to do, but also like the reason for all of it as well. Like Dredd is a very like complex writer, but not complex to understand, complex in the aspect of like they put things into a new perspective every time that they kind of describe what they're going through. I feel like the average listener can definitely relate to Dredd, but I also feel like they can spin things as well for like a new listener. So if you haven't thought about things in a certain way, or you're not like taking accountability, but also like I guess kind of staying 10 toes at the same time, like because going ghost like or just like ghosting people or disappearing, whatever you want to call it, like can happen for multiple reasons. It's not just like for one or two things, right? You know, people do you wrong, people are lame, whack, not loyal. You could realize that you're fucking up and you gotta go ghost. You know, sometimes even gotta ghost yourself and you're just like, nah, I gotta do X, Y, or Z. So this song's very like deep in that aspect, right? Where you could take it a couple different ways depending on what you know, applies to your situation. So I think Dredd did a really good job writing this one. Absolutely. But with that said, huge shout out to No Name Dredd. Thank you so much for this. Much love. Make sure you follow Dredd on SoundCloud. They're approaching 230 followers on the cloud. And of course, make sure you follow Dredd on Twitter, my friend. Dredd is literally 7 followers away from 180. Go show Dredd some love. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We are approaching 230 subscribers on the channel. We upload 2 times a week, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a lot of good stuff available over there. So go show these artists in the channel some love. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here on Music Mondays, my friend. Okay, so we left off with the homie Dredd. Up next is the homie Lil Derek, aka MTM Lil Derek. Now, it's been a while since we heard from Derek, man. A very, very talented alternative hip-hop artist. Submitted a track titled Nina Simone. Now it's been maybe like a month or two, I guess like a month or two since we've heard from Derek. So I'm definitely excited to see what Derek has been up to, no doubt. So, this is off their latest project, Eat Your Veggies. Actually, a 3-track EP. Okay. So this is the last track off of a 3-track EP. So this will be interesting to see how this ends off. So I'm interested. Let's go. Lil Derek, Nina Simone. Let's get it.
She wanna be alone, but she keep calling my phone, asking can we get stoned. Feeling good, turn on that Nina Simone.
Oh yeah.
Say she wanna be alone, but she keep calling my phone, asking can we get stoned. Feeling good, turn on that Nina Simone. Young, black, and gifted, and I take care of business. cross me, then it's best to keep your distance. Go talk to God, don't ask me for forgiveness. Cause if I give it, it's a given. You can turn your back on me at any minute. And I ain't really superstitious, but I know karma can be compared to these bitches. Beautiful or ugly, try to make sure mine's is lovely. Either way, karma gon' fuck me. Well, let's see if I get lucky. Say she wanna be alone, but she keep calling my phone, asking can we get stoned. Feeling good, turn on that Nina Simone. Say she wanna be alone, but she keep calling my phone, asking can we get stoned. Feeling good, turn on that Nina Simone. Riding with my Nina Simone playing on the speakers. I'm the Martin to her Gina. She say I'm dreaming of you like Selena, and she always there when I need her. Simply the best like Tina. Turn her into a ballerina. She throw it, I'ma catch her, Yadier Molina. Say she wanna be alone, but she keep calling my phone, asking can we get stoned. Feeling good, turn on that Nina Simone. Say she wanna be alone, but she keep calling my phone, asking can we get stoned. Feeling good, turn on that Nina Simone.
Okay. So this right here, this is that Sunday lazy, chill in bed, clean the house kind of song for sure. Like the definition of like modern laid back underground R&B. No question. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. So we're gonna talk about three things. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of so let's talk instrumental. Instrumental is the perfect kind of choice for what obviously Derek was going for here. But the mix is great, nothing classy, too overbearing, nothing a little bit crazy about this, not at all. Everything's nice and level. Vocals sit nice on the instrumental. Yeah, nothing like super crazy about this that like stuck out to me, because it's not like it's a very like simple instrumental in terms of like you know, how it's laid out, but I do feel like the mix is perfect for it, right? Like everything really shines, sample shines, everything like really does its thing. So the mix is perfect. Now what's interesting here is the Shining Star. So I like the drums a lot. The melody is super solid as well, but I think the thing that really like put this over for me was the sample usage, the vocal sample in the background, kind of bringing it like that like classic hip hop kind of feel. You know what I mean? I like that a lot. So this prod did a really good job. Kind of pushing that barrier and not like overusing the sample, but I think the sample got used like just enough for sure. Definitely the vocal sample is the shining star there for me. So instrumental solid, vocal samples the shining star. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix is great. Derek's an artist where I've never heard a song where they've had like a questionable mix. Again, they have a really solid natural voice, so not like over processed vocals, but not like super natural raw vocals either. Kind of hits that nice sweet spot. Again, a vocals sit nice in the instrumental, nothing super clashing, super overbearing. Yeah, no gripes with the vocal mix at all. Like, come to think of it, definitely no gripes. Again, like I said, that's the usual for Derek, but that's something you always want to point out as well. Hmm. Vocal shining star. Probably the writing. I like the writing here a lot. Kind of like fun punchlines like usual, but a little bit of more like clever punchlines and just lines that kind of like fit the mood. To be honest with you, I feel like Derek kind of nailed this mood with everything down to the writing. Definitely the writing for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the vocal sample. Vocal solid, definitely the writing. Suck theme. So this art is from the full EP, Eat Your Veggies. And man, oh man, oh man, is this kind of like a fun cover for sure. This is one of those covers that's fun for like, um, it's just like the definition of DIY shit. You know what I mean? Like fun, memorable 3-track EP covers like this, or even just any EP covers like this, are always gonna like stick out to you. This one definitely takes me back for sure. So I like this direction a lot. Whoever designed this did a good job. I like the direction. Overall theme. So the track is called Nina Simone, right? But at the end of the day, it's not like it's definitely like a tribute slash like a big shout out to Nina Simone, but it's not directly like centered around Nina Simone. It's just very much like wordplay. And I think Derek did a really good job kind of expanding that and actually kind of like making a theme about Nina Simone, but it's not directly about Nina Simone. It's kind of like a interesting like double like theme here. You know what I mean? But Derek did a really good job kind of mixing a lot of the lyrics of writing here with a lot of like chill and rememberable punchlines. For sure. Question. So with that said, huge shout out to Lil Derek. Thank you so much for this. Much love. Make sure you follow Derek on Spotify, and of course, make sure you follow Derek on Twitter. Derek is approaching 3.3K on Twitter. Go show Derek some love, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube free upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 230 subscribers, so make the MM channel some love and go show these artists some love. And we're approaching 230, like I said, so sub if you have. But we left off with the homie Lil Derek, and up next we have a first-time submitting artist, DJ Skyfire. Let's see. Makes music and loves Jesus. I don't judge. Let's get it. Let's get it. Okay. We love that. Alright, so first-time submitting artist, DJ Skyfire, submitted Bass Bump. Now, first-time submitting artist, so we don't know exactly what to expect. So I want to see what we got here. Let's see. We got DJ Skyfire and Bump. King of Bass. Okay. So we got a little bit of a collab here. Alright, let's get into it. DJ Skyfire, Bass Bump. Alright. Okay. That was a very interesting collab, I'm not gonna lie. We don't get too many of those EDM kind of dance inspired, almost dubstep like instrumentals, right? I definitely feel like this was one for the ages. So let's break it down. Obviously no vocals, besides a few chops here and there. So let's talk about two things. We're talking about the instrumental, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of a bass bump. So, instrumental. For what this is and how crazy some of these songs can be to mix, the instrumental is fantastic when it comes to the mix. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Everything definitely has its own space. I have zero gripes with how this turned out as far as the mix goes. Everything kind of has its own space, like I said. Nothing clashing. Everything works well together. I like it. I definitely like the mix a lot. So the mix is solid. Instrumental Shining Star. So I feel like this clocks in as a little over like 3 minutes or so, right? So I feel like when it comes down to the Instrumental Shining Star, I can only think about the structure. I feel like the structure is something that's like really up there for me. The sound selection is definitely solid too, but the structure kind of made it for me, especially when it comes down to like anything over 3 minutes. You know, you like really need that variety in there, like you really do. So instrumental solid, definitely the structure, overall theme. So let's talk aesthetics. I like the fact that they went minimalistic, right? Sometimes with these like IRL covers, you can, you know, you can never go wrong realistically. Like when it comes down to like having any IRL cover or even just like a cover of yourself, I think both work. But this one's solid. Simple, easy to look at, text, artist names, you're good to go. You know what I mean? Definitely solid for a single, no question. Overall theme, I mean, this is one where I feel like it feels like a club exclusive kind of like festival track almost. Like this is like very much like I kept thinking like festival and like straight like underground club for sure. For sure. So I definitely feel like they nailed that aesthetic in terms of feel. No question. No question. I would definitely like to hear more from these two. But well done. Well done. Huge shout out to DJ Skyfire. Make sure you follow them on Spotify. And of course, make sure you follow DJ Skyfire on Twitter. They are approaching 2.2K on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 230 subscribers on the main channel, my friends. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a lot of good stuff's available over there. So go show these artists on the channel some love. RCH, what's good? Hope you're well. Happy Monday, my friend. Welcome on in. So we left off with the homie DJ Skyfire. Up next, we have the homie Offspring Mysterious. Now, Offspring has had a really solid 2023, if I do say so myself. Insanely consistent uploads, tons of edits, and we have a surprise edit from Offspring towards the end of the year. So that's gonna be solid. That's gonna be solid. But this week, Offspring Mysterious submitted music art Last Stand / New Chapter. Let's see what we got going on for this week's edition of Music Art, my friends. I am down. I am absolutely down. So we'll give that a quick pause. Get a little bit of quality bump, boom, slap that 1080. This is from March. Damn, this is from holy shit, from beginning of the year. Okay. Our last ride. You knew Davis coming after years of playing. You were fun. Okay. Solid description. Links per usual. Little love in the comments. Let's see what we got. Offspring Serious Music Art Last Stand New Chapter. Okay. No way. Wait, yes, that was actually hard as fuck. Hold on. That was cooked. I like that a lot. W Fade Out. I like that a lot. No, that was great. That was actually really fucking solid. Okay. All right. So let's break this down. We're going to talk about the instrumental, and we're going to talk about this edition of Music Art. So, the instrumental, absolutely fucking solid. Like, really solid. But let's talk about the mix first. Nothing Clashing, too overbearing. Everything has a really solid mix. No question. Sound selection solid. Everything's nice and level. Nothing like insanely overbearing. It's solid, right where it needs to be for sure, 100%. And assuming that this song is like a bit older, I'm gonna go ahead and assume it is. Yeah, about 4 years ago. You know what I mean? So, when it comes to that, the mix is fantastic. You know what I mean? If I'm being completely honest with you, I think the mix is great. Especially for being like an older track, right? But it makes it solid. Instrumental Shining Star. I like the melody here, but I feel like the drums really excel this. The drums are like what's really getting me, for sure. So definitely the drums, no doubt. But I do like the structure for what we did here, but drums definitely take the cake here. Absolutely. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums, the Shining Star. So when it comes down to music art, the Shining Star is the concept. I love the concept and the small edit. Like, these are what we need from Offspring, and this is what Offspring can do to, like, really expand their content and their library, right? Because even just doing music art for, you know, multiple tracks really just expands their library and really expands their reach and really lets people know that their library is even there. So I love the concept. The concept easily takes the cake for me, and I just love how it's edited, for sure. Especially for something all the way back in March. This is definitely one we haven't seen, so well done, my friend. Huge shout out to Offspring Mysterious. Thank you so much for the submission. Make sure you go sub to Offspring. They're literally 4 subs away from 140. Go show Offspring some love, man. And of course, make sure you follow Offspring Mysterious on Twitter. They're literally approaching 1K. They're 1 follower away from 910. So go show them some love on the bird at my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube free upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. We're approaching 230 subscribers on the Music Mondays channel, my friend. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a lot of good stuff's available over there on the channel. So go show these artists in the channel some love if you already have. Thank you. So, up next would be the homies over at Rally for Reality, Survival, and Negativity. But we actually reacted to this track last week on episode 48, so make sure you go show Survival and Negativity some love. Feel free to resubmit next week with a track that we haven't reacted to on the show. But the last submission of the night, and it's none other than the homie Bloodcat. Now, Bloodcat's been throwing us some really crazy curveballs with a lot of their earlier music videos and things like that, so I'm definitely excited to see what Bloodcat has for us this week. But a very talented alternative vocalist, Bloodcat submitted Mary Poppins. It's actually on SoundCloud. So let's see what we got here. Oh, okay. We got a little private link here. Okay, we got a little private. I see you, Bloodcat. I see you. Okay, so let's get into it. Exclusive, unreleased Bloodcat, Mary Poppin. Let's go.
Rhythmic on the beat, boy.
Okay.
Like a sneeze, better text me to the screen. Pop a pads and then I leave. Turn her hands, I drop a beat. Burn bread, I'm cracking weed. Crack your head, she turn her red, she turn her pink. Got my thoughts, I'm drifting, pop my bitch. My bitch ain't hurt my parts, cause she validated. It's not whip, I let it calibrate it. Make it rain, toss it like it's validated. If I'm catching, if I'm basic, I'm elevated. Can't believe it, about to let the kitty cat talk. Take the pussy across the city, make the bed walk. My only actions on my TED talk. Make my new one meet the Cuban with the red sauce. Good head, all day. Green and blue, I color code the band. I'm a non-play. 2000 in the trap, I did a lineup of dog play. Look, I'm in my pocket, and she shoes, I rock them all day. Walk them all day. Pikachu, I shot them, turn around, just like a runaway. Get that phone, get the thrill, no good water, fucking seven, what you Thursday. We was talking all day. Listen, say you never came up. That's the action, that's the dust, and dust the cash, and that's the action, that's the buzz, like what the fuck, I fit the cat, I'm just the surface on the bench, she bring it back, she bring the cat, they know what's up.
Rhythmic on the beat, boy.
Keep it how I keep it under, wanna keep it secret, way I start, I rest in peace, it 1-800, best believe it, I said keep it how I keep it under, wanna keep it secret, way I start, I rest in peace, it 1-800, best believe it, I said keep it how I keep it under, wanna keep it secret, 1-800, best believe it, 1-800, best believe it. Tip it how I keep it 100, wanna keep it secret. Way I start on rest in peace. 1-800, best believe it.
Wait.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Chuck it.
Yeah.
That's the gravy train, baby.
My face was scrunching because I heard it slowly coming in the distance. And I was like, no.
That's the gravy train. That's the gravy train. Are you still recording?
Yeah, should I end it?
Nah. That's fire. Bro, that's fire. Whoever's putting these together for Bloodcat while he's away is fucking gem. That was cool, man. That was really fucking cool. I like the outro skit there. That was nice. That definitely put a smile on my face, bro. That definitely put a smile on my face. Okay. So let's break this one down, man. So we're gonna talk about three things. We're talking about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Mary Poppin. So, let's talk instrumental. I love the instrumental choice here. The instrumental choice is fan-motherfucking-tastic. But the mix is great. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Everything's really, really hard-hitting for sure. Drums are solid. Sound selection solid. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Like I said, vocals sit nice. Everything cuts through nicely. No problem at all with the instrumental mix. Bloodcat's always had a really like solid instrumental taste for sure. So the instrumental mix, fantastic. Instrumental shining star, probably the drums. I like the drum selection a lot and the sound selection, but how hard they hit is definitely another plus for sure. But that's just me. I really like the drums on here, but the melody is definitely a close second, definitely. So the instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Vocals. Let's talk vocal mix. So obviously with this being recorded over the phone, Bloodcat can only do so much with their mix, right? So with all that considered, I like what we have here. You know what I mean? It's actually like something crazy to look back on when a Bloodcat is able to hear these and really be like, oh shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, the mix is solid for what it is. 100% the mix is solid for what it is. Especially with like how heavy this instrumental is. Everything sits nicely on it, so that's a big plus for sure. Vocal shining star. I was gonna say writing at first, but definitely flow and cadence. I feel like the flow and cadence on this was like a big chef's kiss. And Bloodcat's gonna come back out and have crazy fucking flows, like crazy flows. So absolutely flow and cadence on this, no doubt. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. So obviously unreleased track. So we have this filler cat choo choo trade, Charles gravy trade kind of like, you know, mix going on here. So I like when Bloodcat kind of plays on the whole Bloodcat role, right? And this art is no different for sure, no different. So overall theme, right? Mary Poppin. It's all on the hook realistically, and this is definitely one of those like showcase of lyricism tracks and showcase of how much of a writer Bloodcat truly is. Because when all these songs get properly released, I have no doubt that they're gonna be absolutely fucking crazy. Absolutely fucking crazy. So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to Bloodcat. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you follow Bloodcat on SoundCloud. And of course, make sure you follow Cat Calls Fashion on Twitter. There are 4 followers away from 10 on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 230 subscribers on the main channel, my friends. So make sure you go show these artists in the main channel some love. And of course, huge shout out to everybody that already has, my friends. So with that said, that was the last submission of tonight's show. We had about 15 submissions tonight, so huge shout out to everybody that came through and showed love. Let's close it out. Let's talk about what's coming on Music Mondays for the next week or so. Let's talk about what's upcoming next. Say our goodbyes. Let's chat it up for a little bit. You guys know the motherfucking drill. So, with that said, huge shout out to everybody that submitted in, came through, and showed love tonight. Huge shout out to Juzo, Laveries, Braden, Jordan, Lil Caesar, Burnt Pixels, Blank Thought, Heavy Metaphors, No Name Dread, Lil Derek, DJ Skyfire, Offspring, Survival Negativity, Bloodcat, and everybody else that submitted as well. Thank you. But. So, huge shout out before we continue. Huge shout out to everybody in the chat that came through as well. Huge shout out to Ree for coming through and sliding. Thank you. Huge shout out to Blank Thought coming through and sliding. Huge shout out to Ross with the raid. RCH, thank you for the first time chat. Welcome, man. Welcome. Huge shout out to all you guys. But. With that said, expect a lots of Music Mondays written pieces this week. We are a little bit behind, so I have a couple to drop early this week. So we're gonna have that coming at you super fast. Like I said, we're kind of organizing the Music Mondays awards as well. So there's a lot of really good stuff cooking in the background of Music Mondays, and of course, you can expect your usual and regular YouTube uploads as well. Much coming this week, my friends, on Music Mondays. So with that said, make sure you follow us on all social medias at All Music Mondays: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Tumblr, Blue Sky, Threads, all of them. We're there, All Music Mondays. Go check us out, follow us. And of course, make sure you check out our Patreon, patreon.com/allmusicmondays. And of course, you can stream the Music Mondays podcast every single place at anchor.fm/allmusicmondays. And again, huge shout out to you guys, man. Thank you guys so much for always supporting the podcast, submitting to the podcast, and we have a lot of really important shit coming for you in 2024 at the end of the year, and pretty much everywhere else, man. So huge shout out to you guys. I love you. It's been your boy Zomslays. Make sure you follow, subscribe below, everything linked below, all the socials, all the good stuff's linked down below. We're live like 6 days a week, man, so make sure you follow the channel. We'll see you next week for episode 150 and the season finale of season 3 of the Music Mondays podcast, man. I love you guys. Take care. Be safe. And we'll see you next week for 150.